Good morning, everyone. In this week's Torah portion, there are two prohibitions against mixtures. And then there's a third one that everyone knows. The one that everyone knows is that you're not allowed to mix milk and meat. But there are two additional ones in this week's Torah portion. One is called shatnez. There's a prohibition in this week's Torah portion that you're not allowed to mix wool and linen. You're not allowed to wear a garment with wool and linen. And then there's another prohibition in this week's Torah portion that says you're not allowed to mix the seeds of two fruits. You're not allowed to graft one fruit with the other fruit seeds to make a mixture. But there's a difference between the three laws. When it comes to the prohibition of shatnez, wool and linen, the Torah says you're not allowed to wear wool and linen garments. But there's no prohibition against making it. If you're a tailor, you're allowed to make garments with wool and linen. When it comes to the prohibition of grafting fruit, it's just the opposite. Torah says the farmer is not allowed to graft the seeds of two fruits. But if you go into Publix and you see a fruit that's a mixture of two different seeds, you're allowed to buy it and eat it. But when it comes to milk and meat, the prohibition in the Torah is not to eat milk and meat and not even to cook milk and meat. And the question is, why the difference between all three? And the answer is, we don't know, and that's the whole point of the law. You see, all of these prohibitions are in the category of chukim, commandments that God didn't give us any rational explanation to. What's wrong with milk and meat together? What's wrong with wool and linen? What's wrong with the seeds of two fruits? Why not make a third fruit that's delicious? And the answer is God didn't give us the reason. We do it because God told us not to. And therefore we don't understand the specifics of it either. A lot of times in life, we think we have to understand everything. These commandments teach us to be humble. We don't understand so much about life. It's a story told about a kid who, when the cell phones came out, he sees his father with a cell phone. He says, "Dad, what's that?" He says, "It's a phone." He says, "But where's the wire?" He says, "It's a cell phone. It doesn't need a wire, a cord." The kid says, "Dad, I don't understand. How does it work without a cord?" And the father says, "Sonny boy, do you understand how it works with a cord? Just because there's a wire that goes into the wall, that means you understand how the airwaves travel thousands of miles to bring someone's voice to your ear instantaneously? It's all beyond our understanding. So don't expect everything in life to fit into your mind. But there's a deeper lesson here, and that is that the Torah is referred to as a song. Why does the Torah refer to itself as a shirah, as a song? Because there's two parts to a song. There's the words, the lyrics, and the music. The lyrics make sense. They speak to your mind. They're logical. But the music speaks to your heart. The Torah speaks to our mind. But deeper than that, the Torah speaks to our heart. Faith is going beyond rational thinking. It's only what the heart could absorb. And this is a lesson in interpersonal relationships as well. Just because you don't understand someone or what they do or the differences between you and someone else doesn't mean you can't love them and your hearts can't connect. The hearts could connect beyond what the mind could comprehend. Yesterday was Yom HaShoah, and I saw a very moving movie or clip of the 62 minutes, 120 seconds of silence for the 6 million. In Israel, a big siren goes off in every community, and everyone comes to a standstill, and everyone freezes on the streets. And even the cars on the road and in the highways, they all stop in the middle of the highway, and everyone gets out of their car and stands at attention and for 2 minutes thinks about the 6 million. But then when the siren is over, everyone gets back into their cars and the traffic starts flowing on the highways and pedestrians start walking again. And while the 2-minute remembrance is very moving, to me, the resumption of life is equally moving, because what it says is we stop for 2 minutes and ask so many questions. God, how could such a tragedy befall the Jewish people? We don't understand. We commemorate, we grieve, we mourn, we weep over the 6 million and all the tragedies of life. But then we say, just because there are things we don't understand doesn't mean we can't go on living lives of love and goodness and kindness with what we do understand, and connect with our hearts, and we can live lives of faith as a Jewish people and continue being Jewish and get busy living again. Have a wonderful day.